As promised, I'm here a little earlier today. I think I've been up since about 5 o'clock this morning. Keep our windows open now, so the birds are pretty loud and kind of hard to just stay asleep with them walking and chirping. Anyway, we're back here on my alts plot, Ternup, and we're looking at probably going to start in on the landscaping today. I thought maybe I might wait till next week, but I'm not sure how much more I'm going to do in the inside. I am going to look at seeing about putting in some rugs. I did a little bit more crafting. Let's see. I had a table here. I wanted to see what it looked like. Mostly I wanted to see how far the legs stick out at the bottom when it's completely sunk in. The legs don't show with the bottom, through the bottom, then I may try to come up with some kind of design with some tables. Again, my apologies if there's a lot of traffic noise coming through on my microphone. I got the windows open, so mostly to keep the room cooler than before. Okay, let's go have a look and see if the legs are sticking out there. Now you'll notice yesterday we did a lot of adding in the pillars down below to kind of do that for us. Yeah, that's what I was worried about, that it was going to be sticking out there. So I'm probably not going to be able to do that because I really don't want to thicken up this flooring anymore. I could just relent and make this a super thick either foundation itself or make it as if it's on rock. But we'll see. But that's a good idea for someone that doesn't have that issue, as far as like maybe they've got a pre-made home or a home that's really got super thick floors, some way of covering up at the bottom to make a nice little rug. Let's send that to crate for now. Let's see, what else did I have? Let's see. Portraits. I don't think there was any cheap portraits, but I need something to put on these walls, and I think I'm definitely going to have to move this more to the middle. So let's just do that right now. We can get that out of the way. And yes, I could probably link everything, but there is still some risk in linking items and trying to move them all together. And have things resize when you don't want them to, or they just turn at odd angles and things like that. So rather than risk going through that trouble, it's just a few pieces, so I'm just gonna manually move them up. This way, when I go to put something on the other side of the wall to kind of cover up the flowers that are in here, hopefully won't have it look odd. It'll be centered on the other side. That's the main thing. Otherwise, I might have been tempted to leave that one. Yeah, see, now when I put something over it, it should be a little center. It's just going to have to be pretty thick. Kind of cover that up. I think what we'll do is we'll take some light colored pillars, probably just go with the exile colored ones. And I'm going to see about trying to make my own picture frame using these. Now, just due to the nature that I want the pillars to be the same size on all four sides, it's probably going to be a square, but I think that'll be okay. Just looking to make some kind of, artwork for the walls. I know there are pre-made things that I can use, but as I said before, my objective here is to kind of try and make things look different than how they just naturally come. Yes, there are a few things like the books and the vases and stuff that are standalone, but I want to get as much custom built stuff going on as I can. I can squeeze in comfortably. I'm just gonna pull this out until it does. I'm going to see if that's sticking through on the other side. No, so we're good. Just the main thing I was worried about is the ends here, maybe sticking through the wall. I don't want that. So I'm just going to kind of arbitrarily put this in here somewhere. It'll get adjusted once I figure out this. I'm going to reduce the size just a touch, just so that it doesn't do the blinky effect as it was. And then we'll just slide this one down. There, now we've got a nice big thing going on. So what to put in the picture frame? That's the big question, isn't it? Again, when you're doing a project like this, it's good to have kind of like a general plan in mind, but don't be afraid to experiment with different things. The only thing you're losing is time, the time that you spend fiddling around with it. That's part of the fun, part of getting the hang of the controls. Good practice. Now, this is going to be trickier because I really don't have a lot of room to play with as far as I can't really like sink anything heavy into the wall here, just due to the nature of the beast. For someone that's building in a pre-built home, something like this is much easier to kind of fake in, because you can sink it in and make it look kind of, I mean, it'll still have some three-dimensional aspect to it as far as some of the features, but you can kind of hide a lot of it by sinking it into the wall, but for this kind of wall, it doesn't work. Let's see. I have no idea what I'm doing here. It's just me tinkering around. Maybe it's a softboard kind of thing, something like that. I don't know. So, just me goofing around, seeing what I can make or do or bake in. Let's try that together. The thing I'm going to have to be really worried about is sticking in the back. I'm like, pretty sure that's wonky out the back there. Lucky, lucky. Resize this. Again, I'm just goofing with items. See if I can make something that looks like something. Probably not going to work like I'm expecting, but just something to goof around. Something like this is just, again, it's a lot of experimenting and trying things out. It might not be the easiest piece to work with. No idea what that is. Now let's try something else. Oops, I want to destroy it. Maybe we'll just put some flowers or something. I think I made some tall finger flowers we can maybe use in an artistic way. Again, this might be tricky to do kind of in a flat manner because of the size and just how it's shaped. It's not going to be something easy to put into the wall there. Let's see. Yeah, let's. I want to need. Kind of on the pricey side, but I want the green color. Yeah, I think an issue with this sort of thing. Just to get the right bits, you have to like use a lot of them. see if we can get away with 2, maybe. Will be required. Get another one. Let's see. Here and smaller and turn this. Something like that. Put this one back in the crate and get one more Hugo. I think a guildmate of mine is having some connection issues. It's offline, online, offline, online. There we go. Just some kind of, I don't know, painting, portrait. Probably better if I had something that use as blue. I could maybe opt for the sleeping bag look, or if I got some, if I had tiny crystals on hand, could use that possibly. I could maybe use the orange walls, I think it is. It's the blue rocky, yeah. Of course, this might look better as a water kind of feature. We'll see. I can get away with pardon for that. It's one of the local farmers' tractors. A little on the noisy side. And here it is, 7:30. Anybody wanting to sleep in, tough fiddlies on that, because pretty loud. Okay, it doesn't look like I'm going to get away with being maybe 2. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wow, the scalar's just going nuts. Try that again. There we go. Maybe that looks better. Just that the pink maybe doesn't come through as well. It's those great since we don't need that back there anymore. Get another one of the orange walls. And I'm just gonna kind of get in or out so that do that flashing. So it's kind of like some kind of a landscape portrait thing. Probably better if I use a different plant, one that stands out a little better against the blue. Not sure what kind of good plants. You need something that isn't too thick, too fat. Because again, you have to be concerned about it showing through the back there. Let's see. Those are definitely not handy. Those might work. They're a little darker, still blue, but maybe doable. We'll put one of those out. And these might work too. Put that out. I'll just check it. And of course, the yellow flowers might also work. Since I already have them here, I don't really want to them too much again. So let's see how these look. And the only funny thing about them is they move. So it depends, I guess, on the look you're going for. If you really want to go for painting, I wouldn't use something that moves. The movement ones are better for like aquarium type of setups. But we'll see anyway. Maybe I can get away. It's going to be awkward to try and get those so that they don't see how I'm talking about them sticking out. I don't think I like that. I mean, this sticks out too, but not so much. This may be better for it. But now, like I said, if you've got a wall that's pretty thick, or you're using a pre-made home and you're not having to worry about what's showing through the back, you can get away with a lot more stuff. You don't have to worry so much about what kind of items you pick. I don't know. Maybe something like that. Almost looks like a purple forest. We'll use these somewhere else. Let me see what that's looking through here. And it appears to be. Let's maybe tilt this. That really tall one in the back. Again, these kind of move, but it's not as dramatic as some of the others. Again, I'm just checking for things sticking out there. Don't think I have any more. And I don't have any more orange windows. I'll make a note to make another one of them. And can maybe take it in if there's like a little something. Let's see, let's get another one of them. I think it's violet. think that's just the 2-1, and I was just, that's okay. We'll get a couple of those. Want a really big one here. I think that's okay. And then size that one down. So now you got like a little purple forest kind of thing going on. Bring this one out just a little bit. So there's enough variety, and while it is kind of 3D, if you're looking at it from the front, it looks presentable as a kind of a little picture thing. Let's see, the only thing that's bugging me is that little bit that's moving down there. So if I can tuck that in enough for it. Yeah, that looks okay. You could put something maybe white to fashion some clouds, or maybe something dark and small for bird flying. What exactly you might could use for that? I don't know if I can get away with those. Let's try it. Sorry. The happy farmers working on their stuffs. I don't know if that's going to really look like a bird. Like a dying bird, I think. I think I need the angle to be different. Again, probably just me not getting it just right, but something like that, maybe. Bird in flight, in the background, way. Okay, as far as the lighting goes, I know it probably bugs some with having these lanterns exposed like that all over the place. But I think I'm going to pretty much leave them. The only thing that bugs me is they always look kind of off a little, like they're planted. And it may just be me, how they look, but it always looks a little off. And I think I'm still undecided about the curtain treatments in here, because what worries me is if I put treatments in here, then that makes it look like I need them in here as well, and I really don't want to go through that. So I think I'm going to go ahead, pardon me, and remove. It was a fun little experiment, though. It could be something I use later in a different way. I think it just looks too, I don't know, like unnecessary candy. Because again, I kind of want more of like a Spartan kind of look. There's, you know, objects around in here, but I don't know. I just want to keep it kind of simple, I guess. Just like I'm thinking I probably won't put something on every single wall. I think it's alright that there are some that are bare or less attention to them. But as far as the lamps go, I think I will leave them exposed like they are. I really don't mind them not having like shades or them being smaller or whatever. Just I'm going to refine about positioning and how they're slanted. You know, I don't mind dangly look. I don't know why it comes in like that. As far as I can tell, it's not actually moving like some of the lamps you see. But, you know, who knows why it might be. Now, I did come across, while I was crafting some other things, I ended up crafting a cable segment that I didn't really want or need, but I thought, well, I'll just, for the fun of it, see if I can make this look like the blender is plugged in somewhere. It's just this thing is like super huge wire. Some of these wire shapes are a little awkward to mess with because they don't lay perfectly flat, and kind of have to finagle with them a little bit just to kind of get them to set up like you want. And of course, I want it small enough so that it looks like it fits that size of an appliance, but still visible, kind of. Kind of, sort of, almost there. Gotta keep tweaking it. So it looks like it comes out of this box here and plugs into the wall. And what I'll do to kind of, I don't know, have fun with simulating that it's got a plug in there, we'll just use an Orin I guess a wall would work. Gonna see if we can squeeze it in here as if it's supposed to be there. So kinda, sorta. A little bit. That looks like it's in the wall instead of at the edge of the cabinet there. How's that? That kinda, sorta looks alright, I guess. Just kind of looking to see where it landed. Yeah, I can see it's like a really good ways away from it. Probably should move this whole thing further back to have this look more like in the center of the box. I dread doing that though, because then, I mean, I gotta move all of the buttons and everything. There we go. Now it looks kind of like it's meant to be there. Plugged in and voila. I could probably do the same thing for the toaster, but I'm going to pretend like, electric or something. But since I had the spare cable, well, I might as well use it for some things. So. Okay, so yeah, I think we're pretty much done in the kitchen. I'm pretty happy with it. Go ahead and tuck these in. The light is there, but you don't see the actual doodad. Let's see. See what we got for sculptures. I'll probably put a Google somewhere. Yeah. Put one here and and it's mostly just stuff to kind of fill in the space. But you know, I want it to reflect kind of the person. Orange-y stuff seems to see. This isn't orange. I need one more thing here. I'll think on it and figure out something. As far as the living room goes, or the bedroom, I should say, I think it's pretty okay. I don't know why, it's just a little off on the angle. And just don't have one over here. I guess I could add one in. I'm going to ignore this bit here, Shelley, because I just, well, I could put some kind of a box there, but I don't bother with that. I am going to see just how much is sticking up when I tuck it in. It's, oops. Yeah, I don't think it'll bother me too much that that's up there. And really, I don't have to go through the trouble of tucking these in even, because I don't think they're too noticeable. Most people probably won't even spot that, I'm sure. But I want to, so. Let's see, I don't think I have another one. If I don't, I'm going to have to remind myself to craft one. Yeah, so I'm going to write that down along with the foreign window that I might go ahead and craft. Exiles hanging lamp. Because it feels kind of lopsided. We got 3 lamps on the kitchen side, and we only have 2 main ones here. I know I've got an extra one inside the shower area, but really this would help brighten up where the washer is. Something else I thought of, I did a water line, as if you're looking at it here. It looks like there's water, but really I think you should add an extra piece there. Okay. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. It needs to be flat this way. Hey Samson, glad you could join in today. Missed you yesterday. Get a good night's sleep. Yeah, it's pretty warm here. I think that's why I've been getting up earlier and earlier. I've been averaging about 5 in the morning this last week because it's so warm. I'm uncomfortable, and when I'm uncomfortable, I tend not to sleep very good. So I think that has a lot to do with the early hours, which I guess is okay. Not the end of the world, but sure wouldn't mind sleeping in from time to time. Okay, I'm not sure looks right, but I think I don't know. It looks kind of weird. No, I probably can't touch it. Wrong piece. And of course, that's the wrong piece. Let's see. Is it unframed? Is it unframed listings? I just felt like it needed to have a water level horizontally too. Just feels like it's missing that, I guess. Let me pull it out a bit. So I can touch it. Yeah, for one, it's a little too low. That's a little bit better. Okay, so maybe I'll get another piece of glass. Knowing me, I'll probably do this, spend all this time working on it, and then I'll say, forget it, I won't do it. But well, for crying out loud. Copy. Paste. There we go. There we go. Now it kind of looks like there's an actual level of water in there, kind of, sort of. Like it's not just up against the glass, like a containment. The only thing is, it's probably glass. Yeah, only not the back. Same with the pillows. So what I may do, whoops, I think I got myself stuck, is extend the back of the washer to the wall so that I don't have to worry about that. The only thing I do want to make sure and check is on the other side of that wall. And I'll do that now since I'm outside. It looks like the laggy stuff is back. That's always fun. But yeah, what I need to do is extend this out. So I'll get some foreign floors. Get a couple of those. And we'll just copy, paste, and then just extend this so it hits the wall. And since it's already kind of offset, just gonna bring it up a little bit, but not so much that it's, yeah, it's just under. That kind of helps hide the gap there. Bring it up. Do the same for here. And again, bring this up just a touch. And that way it kind of hides the bits back there. Probably should extend the wall here, but I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna. I do want to add a shelf. I do want to add a shelf here for some like laundry detergent or something. And let's see, shelf. What kind of shelf do we got to pick from? Yeah, well, you know, when you're doing something, you know, homemade, that's, you kind of expect it to be kind of imperfect. I think that's okay. It doesn't have to be. You know, it's like my husband when we bought our house, he's all the time fussing. He always sounds like he's got buyer's remorse because he fusses about the squeaky floors, and you know, you can't go up the stairs without alerting the entire neighborhood because they just crack and creak as you go up. And there's imperfections in the walls because it's a pretty old home. It's had some new additions put into it, so it's got some modernness to it in places, but the main the main part of the home is fairly old, so it's got that, you know, the beams, the banisters, they have like weird cracks in it and stuff, and he's all the time complaining about that, but I like that. It gives the house character than having the same old cookie cutter homes that you see nowadays being put up. Okay, so I'm gonna slap in a shelf here. Don't really want it too big or too high. Feels weird with it too high. The washer, some may wonder why I made it so big, but I figured, you know, I don't know, when you're on your own, you kind of wait until the last minute to do all of your laundry, and she needs one of those big, you know, mega washers, so it's kind of on the big side, but the buttons are still within reach, and I figure that the shelf can be a little above her head, but she'll figure out a way, you know, to hop up there and get the box of detergent. And I think what we'll do is maybe we'll do like kind of use that idea with the books. I think it was in Stanos' house, but I'm going to kind of make my own. Let's see if I can do this. Trying to think what I could use.